So the first part of this training is going to be introduction. I'm going to introduce to you what critical thinking means and what critical thinking is not. Sometimes it's good to understand what something is not in trying to understand what it is. And a lot of times critical thinking is confused with problem solving. That is also one area that we're going to look at. After that, there will be several modules that you will go through, I think around 7. So module 1 will start after the introduction. So this presentation is based on the textbook titled Cross-Cultural Psychology. One chapter is dedicated to it. There's a lot of information from there, and I've also added some personal examples. If you want to have a better and a deeper understanding, I suggest getting the textbook. It is a book that you can understand without a professor explaining it to you. But it's always motivating to have somebody to discuss it, because it will make you think in different ways, different perspectives, right? So let's start by defining what critical thinking is. So this is a textbook definition. A reflective thinking focused on deciding what to believe or do. So take note of the emphasis here. A reflective thinking focused on what? Focused on deciding. Deciding on what? Deciding on what to believe or what to do. So those are the 3 key terms. It's reflective. It is about deciding on what to believe or what to do. So what is the difference between critical thinking and problem solving? So problem solving focuses on well-defined problems. Critical thinking focuses on ill-defined problems. Now you may be confused. What is a well-defined problem? What is an ill-defined problem? Let me warn you ahead. Ill here doesn't mean bad. So a well-defined problem is a problem that has a specific answer or solution. So if you have a house and if you have a bunch of keys, most likely it's one of the keys that's going to unlock the door. Right? There is a specific key. There is a specific solution to it. Problem solving focuses on a well-defined problem, and a well-defined problem is a problem that has a specific solution. So like algebra or chemical equation, there is a specific answer that you expect. If your math teacher gives you a mathematical equation, he's going to expect that you will give a specific answer. He would have the key ahead of time. Problem solving needs a domain-specific knowledge. It needs an expert in that area. When it comes to critical thinking, it focuses on ill-defined problem. What is an ill-defined problem? You might have seen this picture on the internet. 2 people arguing about a number. Is it 6? Is it 9? Nobody is wrong, but the problem is they're looking at it from different perspectives. Sometimes it's about perspectives. It's not about the problem. A problem may be looked at from different angles, and people may think different solutions to it. So when you have an ill-defined problem, the problem has no specific solution. You cannot say, I have a solution and mine is the only solution. No, that's not how it works with ill-defined problems. For instance, global warming, or talking about abortion right, or capital punishment. It is really difficult to put everyone in the same category, or to think of the situation the same way and say, this is the only solution for this problem. It is complicated. It requires looking at it from different angles. Unlike problem solving, critical thinking requires knowledge in different domains, different areas. So just to summarize it, problem solving focuses on well-defined problems that have specific solution or specific answers. Critical thinking focuses on ill-defined problems. Ill-defined problems are problems for which we may have different solutions, different alternatives. And well-defined problems require domain-specific knowledge, whereas ill-defined problems require knowledge in different areas or different experts working together. All right, so now we know the difference between problem solving and critical thinking. Since critical thinking requires knowledge in different areas, it is also good that we have a better understanding or a better skill in critical thinking. So, summary: problem solving, well-defined problems. Critical thinking deals with ill-defined problems. So what are the antidotes of critical thinking? Let's look at things that are not critical thinking. Take a look at the picture. So if the kids are blindfolded, do you think they will have the same understanding or the same impression of what they're touching? Most likely not. They're going to have different opinions. So whether they will come up with a solution or not depends upon their thinking. So critical thinking is not biased, it is not simplistic, it is not rigid. Now the question is it possible to learn critical thinking? Is it something that people are gifted with because they are born intelligent? By the way, it is possible to be intelligent, have high IQ, but not very good at critical thinking. You will see later, when we study the basics of critical thinking, you will understand that, oh well, it's not really about high IQ. It is about following certain thinking rules that will help us be a critical thinker. All right, so is it possible to learn critical thinking? The answer is yes. There are some basic rules to learn. It is possible. So that was the introduction. I hope you have a clearer understanding now about critical thinking. What we're going to do is move to the next modules and discuss about the rules of critical thinking. So as a reminder, let me say this: please answer the questions in the discussion board under the introduction after watching this video before you start working on the next 7 modules. So you can come back to it and do it later, or you can continue to the next module. This is a self-paced training, but it will be nice if everyone goes together so that on the discussion board we will have people interacting, commenting, because one of the requirements in the discussion board will be to post your own comment and comment on others' posts. All right, I hope you are enjoying it. It is a very exciting presentation. The next ones are going to be skill-based. I hope you will stay with me.